It seems like every war movie has a scene where somebody says, that's on a need-to-know basis.
It's being treated on a need-to-know basis.
I'm on a need-to-know basis.
You're on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know.
The fallacy with the need-to-know approach is you don't know who needs to know. Radical transparency is sharing information we didn't used to share with people we didn't used to share it with. What we need to do is push as much information down to the lowest possible level so that people understand the broader context. To put radical transparency into practice starts with a culture change. In Joint Special Operations Command, I started with this mantra that said, I want everybody to know everything all the time. Now, of course, that was impossible, but people knew that what I was trying to say was if we're all have as much knowledge as we can, we're going to function better. So we did something we'd never dreamed of before. We invited the entire command to the daily video call. Turned out to be about 7,500 participants every day. That was the place to find out what was going on. You learned not just what was happening in your small part of the fight, whether it's a function or geography, but across the region. Everyone in the command knew that if they were on that call that day, they were up to speed. They had a really good contextual understanding of what's happening. And then they could drill into their specifics. And so it created a momentum and it created a level of empathy which I had not predicted. You're seeing people from other organizations operating 1,000 miles from you, but you hear their problems, you see what they're going through. And suddenly you realize, hey, we're all in this together. And that turned out to be invaluable. And it connected everyone in the region, but it also connected every embassy in the region, CIA headquarters, State Department, all the things in DC, so that all the people who were critical to the fight but weren't geographically standing on the battlefield were just as connected as people who were. When we first started the large call with everyone, there was a lot of skeptics, and I get it, because people were busy. They'd say, this is a waste of time. And there's reticence to share information or to put out your opinion, particularly in a hierarchical military organization. So we had to break through that. In Iraq, we started to make it understood that the price of admission was contributing. It's bringing your information to share with ours. Most will start with the tendency to give a very short brief. Everything's good here, boss. You know, don't bother us. And so you have to ask questions that are probing. They don't have to be rude, but they can be leading questions that require them to truly explain something, not just to you, but to the wider command. And one of the great things when you do these often, people know that's the interaction, and they give up trying to give the very short, you know, we're good, don't ask any more questions, and they just expect that kind of conversation. And as we produced more and more information as the task force got more effective, more people wanted to be a part of it because they saw the value. And then we hit a point where I think people who weren't in it realized they were missing a competitive advantage. It turned out to be the most efficient thing I've ever been involved in my career. That's the dynamic in a civilian corporation I think we're seeking. People want to be there because they'll be better able to do their jobs. So how do you create that dynamic in your own company? Start by conducting a brutally honest assessment of your organization's communication gaps. Then hold meetings where sharing real information, including problems, failures, and honest updates, is required to participate. Let me give you an example. In 2014, after I left the military, my consulting group got the opportunity to work with Intuit, which is, of course, a software as a service company associated with